International Statistical Classification of Diseases and Related Health Problems ICD, History. The ICD-11 is the 11th revision of the International Classification of Diseases, ICD. The ICD-11 officially came into effect on the 1st of January 2022. The 11th revision is more extensive and has greater implications for what can be done with the ICD, and how, than any revision since the 6th, in 1948. The development of the ICD-11, for mental, behavioural and neurodevelopmental disorders and their underlying statistical classification represents the first major revision of the world's foremost classification of mental disorders in nearly 30 years. The WHO Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse has been responsible for coordinating the development of 4 ICD-11 chapters: mental, behavioural and neurodevelopmental disorders, sleep-wake disorders, diseases of the nervous system, and conditions related to sexual health. Versions of ICD-11. 1. Mortality and Morbidity Statistics, MMS, contain brief description of each disorder. It replaces the ICD-10 as the global standard for recording health information and causes of death. First World Health Assembly Convention of 30 April 1948. The delegates entrusted WHO, as one of its functions, with the task of establishing and revising the necessary international nomenclatures of diseases and causes of death, giving the World Health Assembly authority to adapt regulations in respect, such as nomenclatures, for consideration and action, the International Statistical Classification of Diseases, Injuries and Causes of Death, and accompanying recommendations, destined to improve international uniformity and comparability of statistics of morbidity and mortality. ICD revisions under the auspices of WHO. 2. Clinical Descriptions and Diagnostic Guidelines, CDDG, more comprehensive, guidelines of disorders for the purpose of implementation in clinical practice. ICD-11 Chapter 6 Mental, Behavioural or Neurodevelopmental Disorders. Disorder groupings and coding in the ICD-11 Chapter 6 Mental, Behavioural and Neurodevelopmental Disorders. (6A00 to 6A0Z), Neurodevelopmental Disorders, 6A20 to 6A2Z, Schizophrenia and other primary psychotic disorders, 6A40 to 6A4Z. Catatonia 6A60 to 6A6Z, Mood disorders. 6B00 to 6B0Z, anxiety and fear-related disorders. 6B20 to 6B2Z, obsessive-compulsive and related disorders. 6B40 to 6B4Z, disorders specifically associated with stress. 6B60 to 6B6Z, dissociative disorders. Six B80 to 6B8Z, feeding and eating disorders. C00 to 6C0Z, elimination disorders. C20 to 6C2Z, disorders of bodily distress and bodily experience. 6C40 to 6C5Z, disorders due to substance use and addictive behaviors. Six C70 to 6C7Z, impulse control disorders. 6C90 to 6C9Z, disruptive behavior or dissocial disorders. 6D10 to 6E68, personality disorders and related traits. 6D30 to 6D3Z, paraphilic disorders. Six D50 to 6D5Z, factitious disorders. 6D70 to 6E0Z, neurocognitive disorders. 6E20 to 6E2Z, mental or behavioral disorders associated with pregnancy, childbirth or the puerperium. 6E40 to 6E40.Z, psychological or behavioral factors affecting disorders or diseases classified elsewhere. Six E60 to 6E6Z, secondary mental or behavioral syndromes associated with disorders or diseases classified elsewhere. Exclusions of mental, behavioral or neurodevelopmental disorders. In ICD-11, acute stress reaction, QE84, uncomplicated bereavement, QE62. Disorders coded elsewhere, cross-coded, with mental, behavioral and neurodevelopmental disorders. Sleep-wake disorders, 7A007B2Z, sexual dysfunctions, HA00HA0Z, gender incongruence, HA60HA6Z. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.